world just keeps expanding after every quest we do. Completed 2001 and 2002. 22 full years of questing became death enough for me. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman questing through 2003. Welcome back to July 9th, 2003. Fishing. It's what we do a lot of times. 81 fishing. That is manta rays at the fishing trawler and bait fishing. Much like the sea turtles, only one of those will ever be possible, and we will get to it relatively soon. But before that, we got a few things that need to happen. But first, more of this. 85 cooking. First level 85 skill. Amazing. That is wild pies and banana pizzas. Neither of those exist yet. That is very high level. 338,000 XP to level 86. As we fish, we get some random drops, like clue scrolls and golden eggs and mimic kill tokens. Can't keep any of those. Not things yet. I'm just here for the fish. That's working perfectly. And lastly, over here, for now, we get 71 woodcutting. That is a quest requirement, crystal hatchet, and crystal skill chompas. None of those exist yet. There is still something in woodcutting we can't do, which is magic trees. But that is still quite a ways away. 4 more levels. And with the mithril hatchet, only really chopping trees for the fishing here, getting 25 experience. It's definitely quite the ways to woodcutting XP here. Definitely the slowest while we're training here. But we can do some actual woodcutting training at some point, but later. Well, later is going to be a much better option for that. And so, let's go start making it be later. Some classic standing in an empty field update talk. Here we go. On July 21st, 2003, pay by phone subscriptions became an option for players in Australia and New Zealand. Previously, that was available in a few other places. So, expanding the options down there. Especially more useful since they have a better server they can play on now. Makes it much better. And that server is only for members in that area, so being able to be members would be helpful. Always remember, for the pay-by-phone subscription, to get permission from the phone bill payer. Surprise charges, not a good time. And also, we got a warning that 2 fan sites got hacked. Jagex cannot guarantee that any third-party site is safe. And you really shouldn't use your same name or password on multiple sites for literally anything. So if you had your password over there, it might now be compromised. So probably try to fix that. And also, don't download any unofficial software, because that could also be problematic. To try to mitigate some of these problems, some official forums will be launched. Also, ignore any emails claiming that you can test the forums or the new engine update or anything. Safety, always a concern. On July 22nd, 2003, many quests have been converted, now working in the new engine update. They've got fancy animations for things, instead of just having some text saying what's happening. Things actually happen during the quests. It's pretty wild. It's pretty great. And with that, most of the big tasks are done. So there's just lots of the small things left to do, and then any additional features that they might want to add. The whole development team is working on converting all of the content that exists. So, running nearer to the end of RuneScape Classic updates, since more of the focus is going to be on the new engine and all that. No estimate for when the public beta is going to be this time, because that always just seems to sail straight past. So, not going to get anybody's expectations up at this point. It's at least going to be a couple months, though. But while you wait, get some new screenshots showing off such things as multi-way combat, the ability to see lower levels when you are upstairs instead of just a black void, and the interfaces are done. And since we're talking about the new update, yet another reminder to not enter your password anywhere else. When it's ready, it'll be on RuneScape.com, nowhere else. My goodness. And that brings us to the actual update here. On July 28th, 2003, new quest, Gertrude's Cat. Requirements, none. Required items, really easy to get. Most of this quest takes place in and around Varrock. Well, all of it in and around Varrock. Although, it was much more around Varrock previously. Where we are now, as we saw in our exploration of the area a while ago, should be the lumber yard, with a bunch of dead trees and fences and buildings and stuff. But that's not here anymore, because it was removed in February 2023. So, that doesn't exist, so the quest had to be changed slightly. So now it takes place in a different section of Varrock. We're going to not worry about that too much, since it's still fundamentally the same quest. We are going to do something amusing with that, though. But first, on the topic of things not existing in 2023, we've got another situation to deal with. Let's head back to Varrock. We got the combat golden shard. Great. Yep. That is 4 now. Still can't get that. I mean, technically, we might be able to. We got the support one, and killed the King Black Dragon, and made the Jagex account. It'd be technically possible. But I don't think we can really effectively kill the King Black Dragon, as that is the only boss that exists yet. So, I'm not going to worry about that yet. Or probably ever. Anyways. We are worried about another thing that's actually going to be happening in 2023. We are constantly fighting with the combat system here, and we're going to be needing to fight with it even more if we don't get on it right now. with the upcoming release of Necromancy, lots of stuff in combat is getting slightly reworked. Most importantly for us, some training methods are going to be changed. It's not entirely clear exactly what's going to be changing, but some low-level enemies will become significantly stronger and give less experience, possibly. So what we need to do is get in ahead of that with our final lower-level combat style, Ranged. We are level 42, and things are not going to get any easier for a very long time for Ranged. So what we need to do is get on that right now. We need a bow, and we need some arrows. And we're going to need a lot more arrows than that. So what we're going to do is hit up a few other range shops. There's only a few that have a decent amount, and we're going to buy them out. With the respawn times of things in shops, we need to be aware of what we can accomplish. So getting this done sooner rather than later is definitely worthwhile. Over here at the Adventuring Supplies store, we can get some arrows. 1,000 in 2023 land, but that's just us hopping a bunch of worlds, waiting for it to respawn. And that's not even a mechanic anymore, so we're just going to grab 1,000 bronze arrows here for 7,000 coins, which is a significant amount. It really is. But we need to fire a lot of arrows, and we don't have any mechanics that are going to help us with that. The arrows always fall on the ground. Some of them get broken when we fire. Even more of them don't get picked up because constantly clicking or trying to use the loot interface doesn't pick up everything. So we're just going to throw a bit of money at it. It should work mostly. So the other store we can buy a whole bunch of arrows from is over here in Trinum Village with Bolkoi. Again, hop a bunch of worlds, wait a little bit. And they would have been less expensive too, so that's also the price we're paying here. So, there we go. 2,000 bronze arrows. And we are going to, of course, go train at chickens. Because they are just the best. Well, at least the best we have access to. I think that there would be a better option, but not for us. Also need to take off all of our melee gear, even though accuracy might not be a huge deal, still worth it. So yeah, we are level 42 ranged, and we have a lot of ranging to do before it's too late. 43 ranged. First level here for nothing. Ranged is still by far the worst combat skill because of the whole arrows business. Picking them up all the time. 44 range. Also nothing. 45 ranged. That is actually some things. You got the maple shield bow sighted, gray chinchompas, the shield bow sight, and ricochet. None of those things exist. Yep. 46 ranged. That is nothing. 47 ranged. That is a quest requirement. 48 ranged. That is Jagex crossbow. Ammunition for that would be problematic. 64 Constitution. That is more health. And nothing else. But more health is always good. The whole hardcore account and all that. 49 ranged. Nothing. 50 range. Milestone. Achievement. And a lot of unlocks. That is a quest requirement. Sacred clay bow, magic short bow, seer coal, hunter crossbow, rune crossbow, rune darts, rune javelin, rune thrown axe, rune thrown knife, orange salamander, Ava's accumulator, Ava's alerter, broad arrows, broad tipped bolts, boa strangler short bow, boa strangler longbow, Zephyrium arrows, spinal leather equipment, rune two-handed crossbow, Zephyrium throwing knives, the Farsight snapshot necklace, holy water, magic shield bow, and the bone blowpipe. That is quite the list. Of those, rune darts and magic short bow exist. And they're going to be very difficult for us to get or use. Mostly because of the ammunition situation. Rune darts, rune arrows, very, very difficult to come by in any way. So we're really, really limited for that. And that is the big problem with ranged. Eventually, there will be good choices, and honestly, the evolution of combat, stopping us from losing all the ammo so much. But, at least for now, we're not going to be able to do much with ranged. So we need to do more right now in order to give us more options in the future. 51 ranged. No unlocks. There's an offhand rubber chicken on the ground, though. So, that's something. 52 ranged. No unlocks. 53 ranged. No unlocks. Also, while we're here, I've been inadvertently picking up some of the bones as the loot interface moves. So there is 45 prayer. Not picking up all the bones. Do not have time for that. Really just focusing on ranged right now. But that is Mystic Might and Overcharge. Some magic prayers that don't exist yet, but will, eventually. 54 ranged. Still no unlocks. 55 ranged. And now we actually get some things. This is the Gravite Charge Bow. Originally the Gravite Short Bow. That is changed later. Also the Magic Shield Bow sighted. The Ceridome Bow, Guthix Bow, Zamorak Bow, Red Chinchompas, the ability Bombardment, and Gravite Knives. Cool. Also, should be some arrows in here. Let's see. Doesn't really say arrows specifically. It's got like thrown weapons and the actual weapons. Equipment? Other? Yeah, there it is. Broad arrows are at level 50. So that's okay. We'll use broad arrows. I guess that was also changed in level. Lots of levels and things changed, but after looking through things a little bit more, broad arrows might be an answer. But that's going to have more questions also, so for right now, just more ranged. 56 ranged, no unlocks. 57 ranged, no unlocks. 65 constitution, more life points. Yep. And also, even though it doesn't say specifically in here, we do get full healing from pineapple pizzas or something like that. And just generally more healing from any other higher level food. Like sharks, because we can totally get sharks. That is a thing we can do. They're still not super impressive, since we are way below their maximum potential level. But still, every level, it gets better. 58 ranged, no unlocks. 59 ranged, no unlocks. Well, that is all the arrows, so gonna need to go and buy just a few more. It was almost enough. If we had picked up all of them, and some of them didn't despawn underneath the massive piles of chicken, probably would have made it, but that's okay. And finally, here is 60 ranged. Milestone, achievement, and such. Lots and lots of stuff at 60 ranged. That is a quest requirement. Dragon Darts, Taktiz Exil, the Bandos Throne Room Agility shortcut / course, Red Salamanders, Bane Arrows, Bane Bolts, Thygat Shortbow, Thygat Longbow, Argonite Arrows, Gallo Leather Equipment, Dragon Two-Handed Crossbows, Demon Slayer Armor, Demon Slayer Crossbow, Argonite Throwing Knives, Dragon Throwing Axes, Elder Shortbow, Dragon Throwing Knives, and the Elder Shield Bow. Dragon crossbows and such, definitely difficult to get. What if it said the actual just regular dragon crossbow on here? That's probably here too. not that we can get a dragon crossbow. That is not a thing. Of all the things here, I think none of them are things yet. But there's some interesting options in here. I think we've got, well, not better options, unfortunately, but more achievable options. But yeah, that's a good level to get. Should work out well enough. And we have 109 arrows left. That's fine. Just going to drop that bow here. Don't really need it. And we can get back to trying to do Gertrude's cat here. We need a bucket of milk, a raw sardine, and Dougal leaves, which we can get those during the quest. And also 100 coins, but that's easy. That's not a problem. First item on the list, let's get the bucket of milk. Easily accomplishable by picking up a bucket here in the general store and go into some cows. Just gonna go to the ones north of Lumbridge here. That'll be good. Get us more on our way to where we're going next. And we need to go to specific cows, because now there's the whole dairy cows business, instead of just all cows being milkable. Milk a dairy cow, and there's one item down. A bucket of milk. Delightful. For the raw sardine, we are in a slightly interesting situation. Later, they are added to the shop here, so you can just buy raw sardines. For whatever reason, the only fish that this shop is going to stock. not yet. So instead, we need to go fishing. And we can technically catch multiple kinds of fish here. So, just gonna get plenty of bait. We've had times where we've caught many of the same fish in a row in spots where there's multiple choices. Or, not choices really, options. So, not having to run back to the fishing store again is probably a safe bet. We don't need to go far to get a raw sardine. We need to pop over here to drain our village. Go to the sea bait fishing location. We still have our fly fishing rod here, which is pretty good. We'll go nicely with our 52,000 feathers that we have. Yeah, that was like 10,000-ish. No, we don't have a net. Bait fishing. Like, it's like 10,000-ish chickens. It was a lot. There you go. Raw sardine. Yeah, we couldn't even get those anchovies. That's fine. And that should pretty much be it. Bucket of milk, raw sardine. We can grab the Dougal leaves over this way and start the quest. Fantastic. Yeah, the 52,000 feathers is going to be a situation. I've got some plans for those, but we will see if we can even use these all before we get to a point where we need to not have anything in the inventory. Since they're not technically a combat item, we can get them into some other locations. But there's going to be situations where we're not allowed to have the feathers anymore. So, we will see about that. We will see about that. Here's the Dougal leaves. Right from behind the house here. Let's talk to Gertrude. Hello. Are you okay? Do I look okay? These kids drive me crazy. I'm sorry. It's just that I've lost her. Lost whom? Fluffs. Poor Fluffs. She never hurt anyone. Who's Fluffs? My beloved feline friend, Fluffs. She's been purring by my side for almost a decade. Please, could you go and search for her while I take care of the children? What's in it for me? I'm sorry. I'm too poor to pay you anything. The best I could offer is a warm meal. So, can you help? Just a meal? It's not the best offer I've had, but I suppose I can help. I suppose I could give you some nice, yummy chocolate cake, maybe even a kitten too, if you seem like a nice sort. Is that something you could be persuaded with? Yes. Yes, I could be. Well, I suppose I could, though I'd need more details. Really? Thank you so much. I have no idea where she could be. I think my sons, Shilop and Willow, saw the cat last. They'll be out in the marketplace. The marketplace? Which one would that be? It would help to know what they get up to as well. Really? Well, I generally let them do what they want, so I've no idea exactly what they would be doing. They're good lads, though. I'm sure they're just watching the passers-by in Varrock Marketplace. Oh, to be young and carefree again. Alright then, I'll see what I can do. 2 young lads in Varrock Marketplace? I can only hope that there's no school trip passing through when I arrive. That would make things more difficult. We're being a little snarky today. Like, I don't know if I can help you with only that as a reward. We're very reward oriented today, apparently. That's okay. Luckily, over here in Varrock Marketplace, there's no school trip passing by, like we had feared. So we can go and talk to the kids over here. Hello there. I've been looking for you, and it's important. I didn't mean to take it. I just forgot to pay. What? I'm trying to help your mind find some cat named Fluffs. Oh, well, in that case, I might be able to help. Fluffs followed me to my super secret hideout. I haven't seen her since. She's probably off eating small creatures somewhere. Where is this secret hideout? I really need to find that cat for your mum. If I told you that, it wouldn't be a secret. What if I need to escape from the law? I need a hideout. From my limited knowledge of the law, they're not usually involved in manhunts for children. Well, it's still mine anyway. I need a place to be alone sometimes. Those two little brothers at the house are just such babies. What will it take for you to tell me? Well, now you ask, I'm a bit short on cash. How much? 100 coins should cover it. 100 coins? What sort of expensive things do you need that badly? Well, I don't like chocolate. And have you seen how much sweets cost to buy? Why should I pay you then? Can you answer that as easily? Obviously, you shouldn't pay that much. But I won't help otherwise. I never liked that cat anyway. Fussy, scratchy thing it is. So what do you say? Okay then, I'll pay. But I'll want you to tell your mother what a nice person I am. What? I'll want you to tell your mother what a nice person I am, so she rewards me for this search. It's a deal. You give the lad 100 coins. There you go. Now where did you see Fluffs? I hide out to the northeast of Artic at the lumber mill. I saw Fluffs running around in there. Well, not so much running as plodding lazily, but you get the idea. Anything else? Well, technically you are trespassing inside there, but no one seems to care. Alright, so we're going to head northeast of Artic to the lumber mill and go find Fluffs. Just need to head here through the forest, go up to location. Mysterious. Where is Fluffs? I don't actually know. Haven't done this at this stage. We're doing this. It's a little bit more northeast. Yes. It's a new location. Northeast of Artic at the lumber mill. So we just need to come over here and get across over the fence into the lumber mill. Let's find Fluffs. Upstairs here in this broken down house in the lumber mill. There's Fluffs. Hi, Fluffs. Meow. Let me just pick up the cat. Hiss. Ouch. Fluffs hisses, but clearly wants something. Maybe she is thirsty. Use the bucket of milk on Fluffs. Meow. Progress, at least. Fluffs laps up the milk greedily, and she mews at you again. You good now? Nope. Ow! Fluffs hisses, but clearly wants something. Maybe she's hungry too. Maybe Gertrude knows what her cat likes to eat. Progress, at least. Let's go ask Gertrude. Make sure we're doing things right here. Just need to head back southwest to Artic, and then cross through the entire town, and head over outside to the west, and talk to Gertrude. Hello again. Hello, how's it going? Any luck? Yes, I've found Fluffs. Well, you are clever. Did you bring her back? Well, that's the thing. She refuses to leave. Oh dear. Maybe she's just hungry. She loves Dougal sardines, but I'm all out. Dougal sardines? Yes, raw sardines, seasoned with Dougal leaves. Unfortunately, I've used all my Dougal leaves. We may find some on the bush out back. And it's not really a bush, it's just lying on the ground. There's a Dougal bush there. I guess we could also pick that for Dougal leaves. There's just Dougal leaves for days. Which is really, really not out of Dougal leaves. No. Use that on the sardine here. Rub the Dougal leaves over the sardine. And we get Dougal sardine. So now we just run all the way back through Varrock and to the northeast. Get to the lumberyard. Cross the fence. Get into the rundown building. Climb up and give the Dougal sardine to Fluffs. Progress at least. Fluffs devours the Dougal sardine greedily. And she mews at you again. You good now? Nice stroke. Ow. I should want something. Food or drink, maybe? I already got that. Yes. Fluff seems afraid to leave. Outside, you can hear kittens mewing. So we need to head back down here and look around the lumberyard for the kittens. See some shaking crates, or probably no shaking crates. Just some crates all around. Search the crates until we find the specific one with kittens in it. This is jiggling very aggressively. My goodness. Search the crate. Find 3 little kittens. Carefully place them in your backpack. This explains why Fluffs is so agitated. So, how do these 3 little kittens get inside a crate? And then why is Fluffs all the way up here? Good questions. It's probably fine. Use the kittens. And we get a cutscene. Purr. Here's little kittens. Playing. Fluffs is very happy. Then they all go down the ladder and run off home. Fantastic. And technically we did not bring Fluffs back. That's probably fine. Let's just head down the ladder here. Get out of the lumberyard. Cross over the fence. Head southwest towards Varrock. All the way through Varrock. Out the other side of the town. And go talk to Gertrude again. Quite a lot of running. All the way over to the lumber mill. All those times. Hello, Gertrude. Fluffs had run off with her kittens, lost them, and I have now returned them to her. Thank you. If you hadn't found her kittens, then they would have died out there. I've got some presents for you, in thanks for your help. That's okay. I'd like to do my bit. Nonsense. I have no real material possessions, but I do have kittens. I've cooked you some food, too. You're gonna give me a kitten? Thanks. I would sell one to my cousin in West Ardoyne. I hear there's a rat epidemic there, but it's too far for me to travel. What with my boys and all. Oh, by the way, the kitten can live in your backpack, but to ensure it grows, you must take it out, feed it, and stroke it often. You have completed Gertrude's Cat. 1 quest point, some cooking experience, which, due to our massive 85 cooking, would have been 4,000 instead of 1,525. Also get a chocolate cake, a stew, a kitten, and we can raise cats. Quest complete. The kitten is an interesting situation. Also, I guess the lamp is a lamp here. There you go. A little tiny sliver of cooking experience, my goodness. The pet kitten is an interesting situation here. Like Gertrude said, we need to have it follow us around, but that was not a thing in RuneScape Classic. You would have to just hold it in your inventory, feed it, stroke it, or just hang out in your inventory, being a cat, having a great time. And then, eventually it grows up into a large cat. And then you can bring it to West Ardoin and trade it over for 25 death runes. Later on, that is many, many more death runes. But 25 for now. Later, we get 100, and then even 200 death runes. Not that death runes are really that important at this stage. They would have been good for blast spells before the magic changes, but for us, not too helpful. That's okay. Yeah. Here is a kitten. And unfortunately, with everything that we've got going on, we really, really cannot look after a cat. We also have follower options off, so if I turn that back on for now. It gets in the way sometimes. That's okay. Where would that be in the options menu? Can't pick it up either. All right. Yeah, there's a cat here now. It's probably fine. There's an option in here somewhere. Controls, graphics, gameplay, interfaces, game interaction. Really desperately needs a search option. That would help a lot. Yep. No, we're not gonna worry about that. Might get the options out to figure out how to pick up the cat, but we can't have the cat right now. It's going to not be able to go into certain locations, and we would have to bring stuff around to feed it all the time. So, realistically, we just need to shoo the cat away, unfortunately. Eventually, we will have better cat care options. But for right now, we need to go and check out some other things that were added. The cat wants fish in order to be fed, and very specific ones too, so that's okay. But there are some new fish, which is exciting. And we can get those from the fishing trawler. And by we can get those from the fishing trawler, I clearly mean we actually can't, but we're going to deal with that in a little bit here. The fishing trawler. Down south of Ardoin here, over at Port Khazard. They got a new boat, new shop. You'll love to see it. We go get the shop here for the fishing trawler. General store. They sell swamp paste and bailing buckets. Those are for doing fishing trawling. And rewards for fishing trawler include such cool things as sea turtles and manta rays, which we've seen in our fishing leveling up. And you just go on this boat, and you can't. You cannot play this minigame in Ironman mode for whatever reason. It's not good, nobody ever does it, and you can also do team minigames in other locations, and also probably just solo the fishing trawler. But for whatever reason, when Ironman mode came out, it was decided not allowed in RuneScape 3, but it is allowed in Old School. And also fishing trawler is actually useful in Old School. There's some differences between the games, that's for sure. But back in RuneScape Classic, it was also very, very janky. There was a a lot of weird situations. The game length seemed mostly random, usually somewhere between 5 and 30 minutes long. The rewards that you got also seemed pretty random. The amount of fish that you would collect at the end, because that's obviously the reward from a fishing trawler. It's fish. People would randomly be split up while doing fishing trawler. Whenever it got more water inside and had to start bailing with the bailing buckets, it would sometimes switch you over to a different instance of the boat and then not bring you back to the same one. Because if we look out into the minimap here, we can actually see all of the different fishing trawler boats. So that's wild. Sometimes the boat would never even return, so you'd just be stuck out there forever, and you would never get your rewards. The easternmost boat couldn't be bailed, so if you got into the water on that boat, it would just sink all the time. And then if you sink, you just need to get back. It's not dangerous or anything. You just wash up on shore and have to come back. An activity bar was added in 2009 to make sure people couldn't just sit on the boat AFKing. And also a lot of restrictions of what you could or could not do on the boat, to also help with people just sitting around AFKing. So yeah, we can't do that at all. So that's a shame. Is it really? We don't really need it. As much as sea turtles and manta rays are technically better, sharks will do just fine. And they'll probably all just heal the same anyways, since we don't have the constitution level yet. So that's okay. We're really doing things backwards today. Did the quest, then we talked about something else that happened, and we're going to finish with something completely inconsequential. The chat filter was fixed to have less false positives. So that's good. And that's it. Day is done. As much as we've been fighting the future today, with things that have changed and will change in 2023, we actually can get some rewards from that year in the form of the Yap track. It is done, so we're going to claim our rewards from tasks 1 through 60 something. We didn't finish all of them, and that's fine, it's not a huge deal. We get mostly oddments, some titles, some cosmetics, and a few of these coin things that you just end up being able to buy more cosmetics with. Also a few clue scrolls we need to drop, that's fine. Could have seen the total oddments that we ended up receiving from this. It's gonna be quite a few. And some cosmetics, and that's great. And a title. I guess we have auto skips. Oh, we can use those. Why not? Complete task 66. Complete task 67. And there you go. So, just a few shy of finishing everything here. So if we scroll up through here, we got a lot of things. Progress on the next yak track is boosted. Great. Unimportant. Unimportant. We have a handful of cosmetics. All the oddments were replacements for various actual like XP things and stuff. Oddments, not as useful. Let me see how many oddments we have now. Open the oddment store. Why not? Yeah, all this stuff is locked. There's a few cosmetics I guess we could buy. We got a decent supply. We got a pet maybe. Nothing super important. We'll just add those to the store. Or add those to the currency pouch, which doesn't exist. But also ottomans don't exist, so that's fine. Then we have the yak coin store. Can't get experience. Can get some various bits and bobs here. We do have a decent number of yak coins, so we could do something good with that. We got these shoulder capes. Don't know if these are... You have to look into what those actually do. There's also a bunch of weapon override options. My goodness. So many. And animations. And pets. Yeah. I think we're going to look through here and the ottoman store. Decide on some things to get. Because why not? Why not? Okay. I've made some choices and such. But first, if we go into the settings, skills and experience, summoning, familiar interaction, here is where the familiar options is. So, with that, the options for summoning familiars are no longer hidden. And that is what the pet counts as. So now we can pick it up, put it down, and release it here at the fishing trawler to have all the fish you could ever dream of having. Shoo away. Gertrude should not have given us a cat, clearly. Sure you want to shoo away the cat? Unfortunately, yes. The trials and tribulations we are going to be going on is no place for a pet, unfortunately. Shoo, cat. Meow. The cat has run away. We will protect and cherish a future pet cat. But we do not have the ability to deal with that right now. And also, it technically should stay in the inventory. So that's an inventory slot. We can't be having that. Anyways. Back to the ottomans section. Just gonna buy out everything here. A lot of these are temporary businesses. I'm just going to grab everything we can. We had like 40,000. And a lot of these are inventory items that we have to then destroy. And we can always get them back later. Probably. Got a pet token, a train pet, pistol, axes. We need space in our backpack. Yeah, here's our pile of things. Let's drop some stuff. I'm eating this stew. Nobody can stop me. Delicious. And I'll eat this entire chocolate cake. Yeah, these are like very old cosmetics. Since they are items that you need to get back if you want to use them. All reclaimable from Diango. So, that's good. This one is technically a weapon, so we need to pay a small fee to get it back. That's fine. Just kind of getting all these things unlocked. Technically, we could be saving up for more expensive things in the Ottoman shop, but it's not important. Can reclaim, consume the tokens. So these are tokens, and then those goes to the other things. Some of these are pets. Oh, now that's in the interface. We dropped the pet, now it's in the interface. The Incando pistols are technically weapons. So those are also going to incur a fee to return. You can make offhands, change the levels. We're not too worried about any of that. There was some interesting options, possibly, with things like these that technically count as weapons. But I don't think it's too important. There's a few things in here that actually might actually do something. But we're just going to grab everything. Here's a hat, a scarf, another hat, a sombrero, and a full set of armor here. That is actually has overrides. So that's this entire section gotten. Wild stuff. We're also getting some of these ornaments just monthly. That's okay. Band hammers. Yeah, since these are just weapons and not overrides, they're slightly less usable, unfortunately. It's definitely a whole thing, though. Here's an octopus backpack. Always great. Yep. So, we can get all these back if we ever really wanted to. We got a whole pile of free cosmetics we've also gotten. But now we have even more we need to buy here. Go to the cosmetics section here. These are a little more expensive. Grab all these. And these are more just actual overrides. Full outfits, all sorts of crazy stuff. Unfortunately, there's only so many things in the Ottomans section now. A lot of it was moved over to the yak coins to be more microtransaction business, unfortunately. We got all those. Go to animations. Let's grab all these. Eventually, I think we're going to have nothing we can buy with Ottomans anymore, since we can't buy any of the consumables, because that is experience and all that. We've gotten all the cosmetics. We've gotten all the others. We've got all the animations. That basically just leaves pets. We get free Felix pet. And now we can get the Santa outfit for him, I guess. Sure. And here's where the more expensive ones are. Like these lichens. Almost could have afforded one of these. Instead, we bought literally everything else in the shop. So, there you go. Yeah, but once this is done, I don't think Ottomans are going to be a thing anymore. I don't know what the idea for these are. Anyways, we also have the yak coins, which are also basically FOMO microtransaction nonsense. Once you finish the yak track, you can just continually do the last one to keep getting more coins and trying to get stuff from the shops and everything. It's a whole thing. Could buy one of these shoulder capes, which look pretty cool. Unfortunately, they are an item and also tradable, so I'd want to probably just drop it over to a different account, but don't really want to do that. And we can't like store them anywhere or anything ever, so unfortunately can't really do much with that. And also the yak coins are taken away, because of course they are. So we're just going to need to spend them here. I think we're just going to get some fancy capes. So we'll get the Aurora cape. We'll get the Cloak of Saren. Go for the Equus cape. And the Ice cloak. And then we only have 2 coins left. There's not really many things with 2 coins cost, so we'll just get Crunchy's helmet. Not that we're ever going to use literally any of these things, but we've got the options now. And that deals with that, I suppose. So, we got our rewards from 2023, as much as we were fighting it. But that is that. Now we can move on to the massive grinds that I was talking about earlier next time. Goodbye.